Welcome back to the online class, students. In the previous class, we were discussing about the functions of the renal tubules and mechanism of concentration filtering. In today's class, we are going to discuss the regulation of kidney functions. Okay? So, how the kidney function is monitored or regulated. Okay? So, the kidney function is monitored or regulated by majorly three hormonal feedback mechanisms. Okay? So, that is, it is monitored by three hormonal feedback mechanism. So here, first one is so this hormonal feedback mechanism is done by three methods. So by three different regions, that is hypothalamus, juxtaglomerular apparatus, and to some extent by the heart. Okay, so the three regions are, that is hypothalamus. Okay, then juxtaglomerular apparatus and some extent by heart. Okay, so first one, let us discuss with the role of hypothalamus in controlling the function of kidney. So the hypothalamus produces a hormone called as ADH. Okay, so the regulation of kidney which is controlled by ADH, that is, which comes under the hypothalamus. Okay, so this ADH, so ADH stands for anti-diuretic hormone. Okay, so ADH stands for what? Anti-diuretic hormone. Anti-diuretic hormone. So in our body there are different types of receptors. So there is a particular receptor called as osmoreceptors. Okay, so these osmoreceptors, they will get activated if there is any changes in the blood volume, blood pressure, body fluids, and so the different regions. Okay, so the osmoreceptors, they can get activated when there is a changes in what? Blood volume or body fluids, the volume of body fluids, and ionic concentration. If there is any changes, so they will get activated. Okay. So now, preferably we are discussing with the functioning of kidney. So there is a change in the body fluid. So the osmoreceptors will get activated. Okay. So once this osmoreceptors gets activated, this will stimulate the hypothalamus. Later, the hypothalamus produces ADH, that is anti-diuretic hormone. So this ADH will act on the different regions of the renal tubule and helps in reabsorption so that excess of loss of body fluids can be stopped or the process of diuresis can be overcome. Okay, so ADH will act on what? The different regions of renal tubule. Okay, so by acting on that, so it helps in more amount of reabsorption. So it helps in what? Reabsorption of body fluids. Okay, reabsorption of what? Body fluids. So once the body fluid volume is regained, so again the osmoreceptors will become inactive. They are switched off, and later the secretion of ADH also will be stopped. Okay, so that is the role of hypothalamus. And in another way also, this hypothalamus or ADH can control the functioning of kidneys. That is, so it controls by constriction mechanism. Okay, in second method, so it can control the functioning of kidney by constriction mechanism. Where it will act on the blood vessels and it will constrict the blood vessels so that the blood pressure will be increased. So once the blood pressure is increased, so it also increases the glomerular blood pressure. So it leads to the regaining of normal glomerular filtrate rate. Okay. So once the constriction of blood vessels takes place, constriction of blood vessels takes place. So it increases what? Blood pressure. And even the renal or glomerular blood pressure is increased, so that it helps in regaining normal glomerular filtration. Right. As I told you, that is per minute, the kidney should produce 125 ml of filtrate. Okay. So that is regarding hypothalamus. Next, coming to the juxtaglomerular apparatus. The second one, juxtaglomerular apparatus. In short form, we call it as what? JGA. Okay. So, and already we have discussed about this. What is juxtaglomerular apparatus? It is a special sensitive region found in the location in between what? Afferent arteriole and the distal convoluted tubule. Okay. So, this juxtaglomerular cells, so even they will get activated. So, once the renal blood pressure is less or renal glomerular blood flow is low or the glomerular filtration rate is less, during that time the glomerular cells will get activated. Okay, when they will get activated? So when the blood pressure, glomerular blood pressure is less or glomerular filtration rate is less, the cells will get activated. Okay. So after the cells get activated, they produce one of the chemical substance called as what? Renin. It produces a chemical substance called as what? Renin. So this renin will act on angiotensinogen. Okay. The renin will act on angiotensinogen. Later, the angiotensinogen will get converted into angiotensin 1. It will get converted into what? Angiotensin 1. Later, this angiotensin 1 gets converted into angiotensin 2. Okay? It gets converted into angiotensin 2. Okay? So, this angiotensin 2 helps in by constricting the blood vessels, preferably arteriole, so that it can regain the glomerular filtration. Right? So it regains the blood volume. Okay? Preferably by 2 methods. Okay? So the blood volume can be regained preferably by 2 methods. So one is it will act on, firstly it will act on, so PCT. It will act on what? PCT. What is PCT? Proximal convoluted tubule. So this proximal convoluted tubule, so it will instruct the PCT to reabsorb more amount of sodium chloride and water, so that the blood volume level can be increased. Okay. So it stimulates them to absorb more amount of what? Sodium chloride and water. Okay. Then secondly, it will act on adrenal gland, which is located just above the kidneys. If it is a kidney, so in the just above the kidney, you will find the adrenal gland. So it will stimulate the adrenal gland and make them to produce aldosterone. Okay, it makes them to produce what? Aldosterone. Okay, so this aldosterone will act on distal convoluted tubule. So it will act on what? DCT. It will act on distal convoluted tubule and helps in the reabsorption or more absorption of sodium and water, so that the blood volume is regained. Okay. So it is also called as multifunctional renin, angiotensin, aldosterone mechanism. Okay. So that is regarding juxtaglomerular apparatus. The third one is, as I told, even heart also plays a important role in controlling the kidneys. That is, our heart produces one of the hormone called as ANF. ANF stands for anti-natriuretic harm factor. Okay, so this ANF, so it acts as a vasodilator to dilates the blood vessels. Okay, so ANF, what it does? It dilates the blood vessels, and we call it as vasodilator. So by dilating the blood vessels, it decreases the blood pressure. Okay, so it decreases what? Blood pressure. Hence, ANF is also called as it is a check mechanism for renin, angiotensin and aldosterone mechanism. Okay, so we can call it as ANF acts as a check mechanism for what? Renin, angiotensin and aldosterone mechanism. Okay. Next one is composition of urine. As we know that the blood has been filtered, finally we'll get the concentrated fluid called as what? Urine. So let us define the urine. The urine is nothing but what? It is a pale yellow color fluid. Pale yellow color fluid which is slightly acidic. So the pH will be around 6.5. Okay, the pH of urine is around 6.5, and it is pale yellow in color because it contains a pigment called as urochrome. Pigment called as what? Urochrome. So this pigment has been formed by metabolism of bile juice. Metabolism of bile juice produces urochrome. So then coming to the composition of urine. So the composition, 96%, it is totally made up of water. Okay. 2.5%, it is made up of different types of nitrogenous waste. And 2.5%, it is made up of other waste. It is made up of what? Other waste. Okay. So which are the different types of nitrogenous wastes here? As we know that urea, uric acid, ammonia has been formed. So what you will find here? Urea, uric acid, ammonia, creatine has been found in the urine. So other waste, like even you can find the presence of different types of electrolytes like you will find potassium, sodium, chloride, calcium, okay, and even you will find the presence of sulfate, phosphate, and even you will find several different types of hormones are also has been found. Even some extent of drugs are also seen in the urine. Okay, so that is regarding today's class. And let us see some of the questions. So the first question is, water reabsorption in kidney is controlled by A. Aldosterone, B. ADH, C. GH, D. Oxytocin. Option A is the answer. Which is related to urine concentration in mammals? Testosterone hormone, ADH, oxytocin, all of these. The answer is ADH. The third one is, kidney resembles contractile vacuole of protozoa, that is primitive animals. Option A, expelling excess of water. B, expelling excess of glucose. C, expelling excess of urea and uric acid. D, expelling out salt. The option is A. The fourth question, the part of the kidneys where chloride is reabsorbed along with sodium is option A, ascending limb of Henle's, B, descending limb of Henle's, C, DCT, D, TCT. The answer is A. Then, human urine contains 95% of water, 2.6% of urea, 2% of salts and other organic waste. B, 99% of water and 1% of urea. C, 92% of water and 8% of salt. D, 90% of water, 8% of uric acid, 2% of proteins. The answer is, so it is A because it contains 96% of water. Sixth question. pH of human urine is approximately how much? The option 6.5, 7, 6, 7.5. The answer is 6.5. Which of the following does not favor the formation of large amount of dilute urine? Option A, alcohol. B, caffeine. C, rennet. D, ANF. The answer is renin. Then, functioning of kidney is controlled by hypothalamus, juxtaglomerular apparatus, heart, all of these. All of these. Then, volume of urine is regulated by A, aldosterone. B, aldosterone and ADH. C, aldosterone, ADH, testosterone. C, ADH alone. The answer is B. So, thanks.